What's up, you guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today, we're going to be talking about a Black Lantern theme team that I've been working on. The Black Lanterns are awesome, and I like this team a lot, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting us off, we of course have Necron, the main man himself here. You gotta play him. You actually have to. So, taking a look at his card here, he does have the Power Cosmic team ability, Black Lantern, Deity, Herald, and Monster keywords. His first trait here says, free, generate a grave-hindering terrain marker within range and line of fire. Friendly characters with the Black Lantern core keyword occupying or adjacent to any friendly grave markers can heal past their starting line if they're healed by a character with the Black Lantern Corpse keyword. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome trait that as long as you are in or adjacent to a grave-hindering terrain marker, a friendly one, then any of your other friendly Black Lanterns or themselves can allow them to heal past their starting lines. So if you use support or steal energy or regen or something, you can heal past your start line. Pretty nuts. So we're going to be playing him at 40 because we're just going to be getting him healed all the way up. Improved targeting for hindering with a 7 range and giant size is great, so you can see over pretty much everything. We're just going to be kind of sitting in stealth somewhere, blasting people with a 12 attack, 4 damage penetrating blast. And we actually have some enhancement on the team I'll talk about later, so it'll actually be 5 damage penetrating. And then he also has steal energy, but may use it for close or range attacks. And when an opposing character is KO'd, after resolutions, you can heal a friendly character with the Black Lantern core keyword 2 clicks. So even more healing. And yeah, that's why you just got to play him. 40 points, he is a must for the team. But moving right along, next up we are playing Superman at the 120 point line. So he's got the Superman team ability, and he's got traded leadership, and when Superman uses it and succeeds after resolutions, remove an action token from him and generate a grave-hindering terrain marker. So we really want to see that leadership succeed right away. If you can remember, you do want to roll for it turn 1. Even if you're not taking a token off, you can potentially get that grave marker turn 1, and that will help us to do some things, which I'll explain later. But okay, I'll say we're playing a Scott Porter with the black shirt, and with the Order of Resolution stuff, if you can use his leadership first, and if you get it, you can put out a grave terrain marker. And with the black shirt Scott Porter, he has an effect at the beginning of your turn. You can heal somebody a click, so you can just automatically heal somebody past their starting line that way, because he's going to have the Black Lantern keyword. So hopefully we do hope to roll that leadership right away. He has improved movement, destroys blocking, Superman TA to see through hindering, playing him at 120, so you just got to heal him 3 clicks to get him up to this super ridiculous line here, where he has this special hypersonic speed, and when Superman uses it, he may be given a close or range as free instead of making an attack, so he can basically make an object or, terrain action, rather, to hit with something, in this case, probably a grave terrain marker, because he has super strength and steal energy, and when Superman uses any friendly grave terrain marker to make a close or range terrain action, modify his attack +1 and increase the damage dealt by 1. And that's just increasing the damage dealt, not the damage value. So you can actually get him kind of past the rule of 3 in that sense, because increasing damage dealt isn't increasing his damage value. You can only increase his damage value +3 from the rule of 3. So he will get a +1 from using the terrain, and he also down here has Close Combat Expert and Exploit Weakness, and his other powers have Protected Outwit for his damage power. So the Close Combat Expert will give him +1. And then if you can find, I don't actually have anybody with Empower on my team, but if you were working a team differently and you wanted some Empower on it, you could run them up there. So you could potentially get the +3 and then increase the damage dealt an additional +1 from using the terrain. So on his first click here, after he's been all the way healed up, he could basically be hitting for 8 Exploit Weakness, plus knockback from the super strength would be an extra 1, and then if you crit hit, it would actually be hitting for 9. So he could do a total of 10 damage if you crit and knockback, and you're using a grave terrain marker and you have an Empower next to him or some other way to up his damage value. So yeah, he's pretty nuts. Even without all that, just hitting with a grave marker with a Close Combat Expert, for 7 exploit is probably enough to one-shot just about anybody. So yeah, he's great. He's just gonna run in there and start one-shotting things with like 7 exploit, and this dude's gonna be sniping people for like 5 penetrating as well. So just with those two, we got two big heavy hitters. But then we also have Batman here. And Black Lantern Batman is also going to be very powerful for the team. So he has Batman Team ability for stealth. He also has free generate a grave hindering terrain marker in Batman's square. If there is already any friendly grave terrain marker in Batman's square, instead place him into any other square with any friendly grave terrain marker. When it's not your turn, lines of fire drawn to friendly characters through any friendly grave terrain markers are blocked instead of hindered. So it's like super stealth. Even if they can see through hindering like he can, then they won't be able to see him, which is pretty freaking awesome. And he gives that to like your whole team, so that's pretty nice too. You know, even your Superman's going to be stealthy and everything, potentially if there's a grave marker near him or under him. But yeah, we're going to be playing him at the 40-point line, so he'll start with the Steel Energy and the special movement and damage powers, which give him Flurry and Sidestep, as well as Outwit, and when he uses it, he may instead choose to target all opposing characters occupying any friendly grave terrain markers. If he does, choose a color instead of a power, and the targeted characters can't use the standard power of the chosen color until your next turn. That doesn't get around Protected Outwit because it is still Outwit, but it lets you potentially choose a lot more powers than normal. So yeah, basically the strategy here with this guy, turn one, you're going to put his grave terrain marker under himself. And, you know, this guy's going to put one somewhere. Hopefully he generates one with his leadership, which also, that's another main reason we're playing him, because there's no other leadership on Black Lanterns, so you really need the leadership from him. But anyway, turn two, you know, he's going to place one out, like, super far off, and then he's going to be able to teleport over. He can outwit something first if needed, or just start flurrying. He'll have, you know, at least an 11 attack, 3 damage to flurry with, which is great. And, you know, potentially if he hits both attacks, he can steal energy 2 clicks up. And yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Next up, however, we're also playing Lissa Drac with the Legacy card here. So this was from the War of Light set, I believe. And her Legacy card, of course, makes her playable again. And she is so much better. So, first of all, when an opposing character uses Outwit, Steel Energy, or Regeneration after resolutions, you may generate a grave hindering terrain marker in their square. So that's really nice, just be generating them under our opposing characters. It does kind of help Superman run up there and just yoink it right out from under them to smack them with if there's none nearby him, like if he fails his leadership or something else. And it also helps for, you know, Batman to be able to outwit all of the colors, a certain color instead of a certain power. So that's also nice. But then moving along over here, she has opposing characters occupying or adjacent to any friendly grave terrain marker modify their combat values by -1 when attacking or attacked by characters with the Black Lantern Corps keyword. So that also is going to help, you know, to trigger that trait as well. Or you can also just use Necron to put, you know, a grave marker under them. So it does just make it that much easier to hit with Batman and Superman and Necron, but also that much harder for them to hit you back. And even if they do, they're going to be hitting for 1 less because it's -1 to all combat values. So it's super overpowered if you're able to exploit that enough and, you know, keep them modified down. You know, it's going to be so much harder for them to hurt you. You're going to be healing a ton anyway, past your starting line and everything. And it's just that much easier for you to hurt them also because their defense is -1 also. So she's really strong for that. I like that a lot. And she also has Perplex, but only to negatively modify combat values. And when she uses it, the target character can't heal until your next turn. Also really powerful. There's so many characters that heal besides the Black Lanterns. If you're going against another Black Lantern team, it's really useful because it does stop them from healing, but also, you know, Carnage, Silver Surfer, any of the Carnage chases really. And there's just a lot of characters that heal nowadays, a lot more than they used to be. So that's really nice to have. Then she's also got the Sinestro core keyword, which is very important because we are going to be playing her with a Sinestro ring for free. So if you don't know what that does, here we go. It also gives Perplex, and if this character can already use Perplex, they may use it to negatively modify combat values by -2 instead. So a lot of minuses, but on top of that, it just gives you the ability to generate constructs for free because she has the keyword as well. So for one, she already has Sidestep and Barrier, so she can barrier up in front of us to protect the team, but also she can generate, you know, like a stop sign that can also barrier, so you can get double barrier just out of her. Or she can kind of run up and drop a chainsaw, so she can get offensive if she needs to, or a boot to attack with. And if they're playing, really defense with a bunch of barrier, she can make a fire hydrant to get rid of some. So of course, just all the things you can do with the rings and constructs is super useful. And of course, last but not least, we're playing the Porter twins, as I like to call them, both black and white shirt Scott Porters. You've seen them before, you'll see them again. They do a lot for the points. So we'll take a look first at the black shirt, who makes more sense to be on the Black Lantern team. So of course he gets to choose any keyword and team ability that a friendly or opposing character has for the team ability option. So you're just choosing Black Lantern to keep theme, and then if you have to, it doesn't have to be copyable, so you can choose Power Cosmic if you want, or you can choose Superman or Batman, but he also has super senses on his defense power, so if your opponent has a Spider-Man character or a Wonder Woman TA character, stealing one of those is really nice. But also, of course, during game setup, if he's part of a theme team, increase the result of your roll for first player by +1. That's really nice. You do want to go first with this team because you want that first turn immunity to start healing up already. It really gives you like 2 turns, because turn 2 you could also just spend healing up, and by the time your opponent even can attack you, your whole team is already way past their starting line. Well, at least half your team. Batman, Superman, and Necron could all be past their starting line. Although really, ideally, you want Batman to stay on his starting click for the flurry, so you really just want to make sure that Superman and Necron get healed fully up, turn 1, and you have that second turn also. So you do want to go first if possible, and then having the TK and Perplex, of course, is great. You can Perplex up Superman, TK him out there, and he can hypersonic and smack somebody. And then, of course, the support, and at the beginning of your turn, heal a friendly character 1 click. So like I was saying, beginning of turn 1, you can roll for Superman's leadership first, and if you get it, you get to generate the grave terrain marker, and then you can trigger his beginning of turn next to get that extra heal in. And then of course he's got the thing here where if he's part of a theme team, you get the 3 community tokens, and once per turn you can remove 1 to reroll any roll. So actually you could use that to reroll his leadership right away if you really thought you needed to. I don't know if that's really worth it. I kind of like to save them for the big attacks. But you can also reroll like super senses and that kind of stuff, so really good. And like I said, he's got super senses, and friendly characters modify defense +1 when adjacent to friendly characters that share a keyword with them. So yeah, if you pop Batman over and then hypersonic Superman near him, they're going to get that +1, and she's potentially going to be minusing 1, so that's going to make them that much harder to hit. Superman's already going to be a 20 top dial, and Batman, if he does hit a couple attacks and heal up with the steel energy, he'll be like 18 combat reflexes, so he'll be like 21 defense up close with super stealth. It's pretty nuts, but that's that Scott Porter. Then we also have the white shirt Scott Porter, who has all keywords, even on the sideline. So he is going to also start the game equipped with the Indigo Ring. So because he has the keyword, he can get it for free, and if you don't know what it does, it just gives you support, and if they can already use support, you increase the healing 1, but really you just want the support, and also he can free generate constructs as well, which, again, amazing. You can get another barrier, you can get another chainsaw, you can get a fire hydrant or a boot, whatever the heck you need. Just having 2 people that can generate constructs for free on the team is super nasty. And then you have, at the beginning of the game, if he's on a theme team, other friendly characters modify attack +1 as long as he's on the map. So again, just giving map-wide +1 attack to everybody's great. He's also a team player, so he can copy Superman or Batman if need be. Probably Batman, just for the stealth is nice. Although Batman's already giving him super stealth, so, Superman TA might be nice too. Not a lot of great TAs to choose from, unfortunately, but still, there are options there. Not really a big deal. He's already doing so much, doesn't really need it. Unfortunately, everything is not from the same set, so we won't get the +1 damage. Basically, just having both Scott Porters kind of ruins that. I think technically she's still counted as being from her original set also, so I think that would kind of break it also. But you could swap them out for some other Black Lantern if you really wanted to get the +1 damage for his effect to kick in. But I think his healing is just too useful to do something like that, personally. But then taking a look at his other side here, he also has knockback pulse wave that doesn't target friendly characters, which is super overpowered. And then stop regen when he uses it, heal each adjacent friendly character 1 click, which, if he's up there in the middle of a fight and he gets hit, and he manages to use that regen, then he can also heal, all of our other Black Lanterns, which is great. So yeah, this guy's super overpowered. Both of them are. That's pretty much the team. Oh, we actually have 5 points remaining. Sorry, I did say we had some enhancement because I'm playing the Scott Crampton Pog. Just has some stealth and 4 damage enhancement, but he has 4 attack. So he can only actually hit anything if he crits anyway, is actually part of his power. So that doesn't really matter. You can take that free attack also. He gets a free attack every turn. Just to try to crit hit something, might as well. But he's pretty much just kind of chilling, hanging out here next to Necron anyway to get the enhancement on his range attacks. There's other things you could do with the 5 points if you really wanted to. Actually, now, when I originally built this team, I didn't know that it would exist, but now we are getting a 5-point equipment with Bucky's arm that gives Close Combat Expert and Super Senses on a 6, so you could give that to Batman. Close Combat Expert would be great for him, for his flurry and everything. But I mean, either way, you're upping your damage one way or another, right? He's upping his damage for range attacks, or you could equip him with something. But yeah, that's pretty much the team. I already kind of explained the strategy of it there throughout, I think. You're just kind of spending your whole first turn healing. You got 2 people here with support. Oh, actually, one other thing I wanted to mention was you can play the Wakandan heart-shaped herb bush from one of the Avengers 60th. I think it was in the Hulk Play at Home kit. Anyway, that gives everybody in or adjacent to it the power heal 1. So I would recommend trying that out because you can kind of just set that out and get some extra healing as well if need be. If you have the action to use, you might as well get an extra click of health in there. But otherwise, yeah, like I said, you're just, putting a grave train under him. He's going to place one somewhere, then he's going to pop over there and start flurrying on him. Then he's going to TK him out so he can hypersonic and start, smacking people with graves and stuff, and he just kind of moves up to a good sniper position in some hindering or whatever, so he's stealthy and or with a grave train marker, so he's got the super stealth from Batman. Either way, he's sniping people with some enhancement, and these guys, they kind of just sidestep around doing what they need to do, supporting the team. With Perplex and Prob and everything, and, making constructs as needed. And before I forget, there are some sideline options you can also throw on. So obviously, first one, obvious choice is Scrappy Doo. So if you don't know what Scrappy Doo does, it's just that sideline active. When a friendly character with a shared keyword of 60 points or less is KO'd after resolutions, you may generate him from your sideline on click number 3 in that character's square. And then if they had the Mystery Ink keyword, you can instead put him on click number 1. And he's got some cool powers here. You can pause to read if you don't know what they already do. But, just a short little dial, but get him out for free is really nice. And actually, celebrity keyword, he does have celebrity, so they both just have celebrity also. So if he dies, you can pop him out from celebrity. Let me just double check. Batman does have detective, yes, and Scott Crampton also has detective. So pretty much if any, we have 4 options here that could be KO'd to pop him out for them. So that's pretty great. And if the white shirt Scott Porter is KO'd, he has all keywords all the time, so he does technically have Mystery Ink in that sense, so you could get him at full points. Next up, this is also just for Scott Porter, the white shirt version, because he has all keywords, but you can use War Machine, who has sideline active once per game for all characters with this trait. When a friendly character with the Stark Industries keyword is damaged by an attack, after resolutions, you can generate him from your sideline on click number 4, adjacent to that character. Then if he started the game via this trait and he would take damage, instead remove him from the game and your opponent scores 10 points instead of his point value. Then he has this cool defense power here. So it's basically just if they hit the white shirt Scott Porter, you bring him out. And he has a stop click, so he can pretty much always survive the one hit to be able to bring him out. And then potentially get KO'd and bring him out instead, or also. So pretty good combo there. And then we also have the Superman from the Death of Superman set, because we do have somebody with the Superman team ability, and his sideline active does technically say when a friendly character that can use the Superman TA is KO'd. After resolutions, if he's on your sideline, you can give him a resurrection token, and then roll a d6 adding the number of resurrection tokens to the result, and on a 6 you can generate him into the square that character last occupied on his 50-point starting line. So basically, we do have one character that has the Superman TA, And although based on the wording it says can use, so I do believe if our Scott Porters were copying the Superman TA, you know, they can use it, so that would be able to add to his resurrection tokens at the very least, even if you failed the roll, because it would have to say that has the team ability for it to mean printed on the base. So unless they're going to errata it and I missed it or something, or they missed it, I don't know. But can use Superman TA. Technically, if they're copying it, they can use it. So I believe that works. Anyway, that's pretty much our main sideline options. And there's no primes on this team. So if you have the Prime Absorbing Man from Avengers 60th. I don't currently have one yet. I got to work on getting me one of those. But if you have one, that's another great sideline option for sure, because it's just a free character to bring out. But that is pretty much it for the sideline options. Let me know if I missed any. But yeah, the team's great. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button because it does help me out a lot. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you'd like to help support the channel even more, don't forget to check the links in the description for the Patreon, or hit the join button down there for the YouTube memberships. Either way, for as little as $1 a month, you can be entered into our monthly giveaways and see your name here in the credits with all these other amazing people. So check that out if that interests you, but that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Till next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.